Yes. Let's go.
This is
number 1.
If our suspicions are confirmed, that means the emergency rule might soon be called off. Very, very soon. Because, well, the major problem has been solved. And if it is called off, it has created another problem. Because that would mean that the emergency rule in the first place existed for political reasons and not for the breakdown of law and order. Because what will happen is, if it is called off, is that the president who first declared it would need to explain to Nigerians why there is no longer a threat of a breakdown of law and order. And how it's not really about two people fighting. That's the first thing that will very likely happen. So fingers crossed. If actually there's peace, then maybe, just maybe, this might not get to 6 months. Moving on.
Number 2.
The second thing that will happen is that there will be a reinstatement of the constituted authority. Your governor, your deputy governor, and all the lawmakers will take their place on the throne. The governor will return to government house to do his work because, well, if a state of emergency is no more, then there's no more need to suspend a governor. And that means once again we'll have an executive, we'll have a legislative, and well, the judiciary was always there, but it's going to say, hey, I missed you guys, welcome back. So that's the second thing that will happen. Moving on.
Number 3.
The third is that all appointments by the sole administrator will become invalid. Since the emergency rule is over, the caretakers of the several departments that were carefully selected, including those that boys went to beat in a secretariat, their services will no longer be required. Because, well, the governor is back. Unless, of course, the governor feels that he needs any of them in any position, then he can, by all means, appoint. But with the end of the emergency rule and the end of the administration of the administrator, the appointments will no longer be needed. Thanks for coming. Thank you for your service. You did a great job. Or maybe not. But there's time for everything. And your time is done.
Number 4.
At number 4, you would suddenly realize that some of the court cases challenging the emergency rule would just disappear. Somehow, they would not be relevant anymore. Or some camps will talk to themselves and say, you know what, just withdraw that other one. Say, what of this one? Withdraw it. There's no need. How can you say the emergency rule was unconstitutional? Were you there when the constitution was written? It's there, but you didn't see it. Say, okay, if you insist, sir. Moving on.
Number 5.
At number 5, which is troubling, the governor would have to work with the budget which the Senate has passed and deliver on the projects covered in that budget. Now, if you're not aware, the budget was passed, I think, yesterday. Yeah. So with the coming back of the governor, it's that budget he gets to work with because it's already been passed. Now, remember that the figure was higher than the budget he proposed, which the assembly could not pass because somehow they just could not meet. So, Governor Fubara will work with the 1.4 trillion, I believe, and deliver on the project that budget covers. Because I don't think another budget will be presented to another assembly. At this point, there's no need. Moving on.
Number 6.
Local government election would become the determinant of the political structure in Rivers State. You see this structure, my structure, their structure, our structure that everybody's arguing about. The local government election will be the focal point for the establishment or consolidation of said structure. So it is very important. And I'm not saying it's going anywhere. I'm just saying that whatever way it goes, it determines the political future of this state and possibly the country. Yes, indeed.
Number 7.
You would realize that all of a sudden, the lawmakers will no longer be in the mood to impeach the governor. Because impeachment is based on something the governor has done that he's not supposed to do, or something he didn't do that he should have done. And two words that they throw around a lot to justify an impeachment is gross misconduct. All of a sudden, the misconduct will not be gross anymore, or it might not even exist. It will not be gross alliance. And you're like, wait a minute. But waiting governor do, you say, my brother, that water has gone under the bridge. Do not bring up old things. Remember, we are in the dispensation of peace. Say, really? Say, yes, indeed. And one thing about peace is that it has a short memory. It doesn't even remember what happened yesterday. As a matter of fact, my brother, what's your name? Say, but it's me, Obi. Say, you see, in an era of peace, we forget things. Moving on.
Number 8.
And number 8, you and I don't know the terms and conditions that were brokered in that room. But believe me, you will find out slowly but surely. You would also discover that there might be an influence on the governor that you don't understand. The influence on the governor and his office will kind of become visible as time elapses. And so you will ask, are you sure that the conditions of this peace is in the best interest of Rivers people? Well, I'm not quite sure. Like I said, we will find out. If this is here to stay. Now remember, this is a conditional statement, right? It's a very big if. Moving on.
Number 9.
And number 9, the federal government will take credit for restoring law and order in Rivers State. That's going to happen. As a matter of fact, you might be shocked that the APC might use that as something to run with. Yes, indeed. The state was under chaos. Our able president swung into action, declared state of emergency, suspended the governor, and restored order. I don't think it will be a campaign promise. That would be stretching it too far. But, well, the president will take credit and his party will jump on it. And finally...
No. Number 10.
This one is not even something that will happen. This is a recommendation from me. There needs to be an audit of the financial management of the state's resources under the emergency rule. For these 3 months, the administrator was here. Monies were disbursed, appropriated, channeled, funneled, dispensed, executed, and spent by the administrator. For the purpose of accountability, there has to be an audit of what came in, what went out, and for what purpose. So the EFCC would need to act. But like I said, this is a recommendation. So I'm hoping that the federal government will activate it. After the break, now you and I get to talk. Stay with me. Nigeria Info, Sam Oracle Chinedu here. Wike and Fubara reconcile after Tinubu brokered a peace deal. And before the break, I took you through 10 points of things that I expected to happen now that this, is on the way. But my questions are, do you feel the people of Rivers State have been adequately considered in the entire conflict and the resolution process? Secondly, the president's first peace deal failed. Do you see the second one being successful? 0817 923 0002 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage. And of course, you can respond to any of the points of the 10 that I mentioned earlier. Please turn off your radio as you call. And I'm going to have to give you to say as much as you want. I'm certain that you can do it within that time. Hello? Oh, my. Okay, call back if you can. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right, moving on. Hello, good evening. Good evening. What's your name?
Lugaman from Nigeria.
All right, Lugaman, you have a minute.
I want to first of all thank the people that are involved in the broker of peace in the state. What we want, we are not getting the way we find ourselves today. Because if a man taking our resources back to his state, thank God peace has been brokered. But I want to warn the governor of the state. So please, any peace that will be at the detriment of Rivers State, any peace that will not provide for Rivers State, any peace that will not make our educational system functional, any peace that will forestall the development of Rivers State, please, Rivers people are not ready for that peace. Any peace too that will siphon out the resources of Rivers State by one man, Rivers people will not be in that peace need.
Okay.
Because you can see that the problem is purely political.
Thank you, Lugaman.
The governor was just suspended, just unnecessarily.
And that's 1 minute. Please, let's stick to time. It's very important. A message on WhatsApp reads, number 11. Oh, okay. There will be a lot of jingles on radio stations thanking the president for bringing peace into Rivers State. Yes, that's going to happen. Right? That is definitely going to happen. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, Sam. Good evening. Is it evening?
Yes, it is evening. It's 4:36.
I think somebody has taken away number 11. I will do number 12.
Okay. You have a minute, though.
7 seconds. The administrators and all those put together.
Yeah.
Lot of people will call on this station to tell you you don't have the right to probe an emergency situation.
Okay.
That is like security. What do they call it? Security. This one, the local government chairman. How do they call it?
Security vote.
Oh, security vote.
Okay.
Security vote. So since it's emergency, you cannot probe them. And I also see Nigeria for that number 13, bringing lawyers of opposing side. Or this one can come to another one will come and counter that one tomorrow. That's number 13. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I need to check my contact if I still have my lawyer friends on speed dial, just in case. Okay. So now that your left eye is shedding tears, I hope that what would eventually follow will be kind and safe for your right eye. Furthermore, if you're a good student of our crude politics, you would only imagine that emergency rule can only come to an end after the sole administrator would have conducted the local government elections. Again, if you're waiting for an audit or probe of the emergency rule to be carried out under the government of Tinubu, brother, you wait ad infinitum. Oh my. Now both eyes of mine are shedding tears. The second peace deal will be a disaster, not just a failure. Governor Sim just wants to get into office first. Governor Sim will shock them. Uche from Port Harcourt says. Okay, Uche. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
My brother.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good evening. All right. Go ahead.
Is it not clear to everybody can have that the country's legacy was manufactured from individuals just to get the political benefit of River State? Otherwise, the same items or whatever you counted out. Point towards that. You do know that everything that happened was literally manufactured.
Hello? Okay, I lost that call. Apologies for that. Please call back if you can. Kingdom says number 13, God factor. People will give glory to God for... Oh my. Well, that's not unique to the emergency rule. If you are a Christian, you are commanded in all situations give thanks. So on and off state of emergency, people would normally give God thanks, right? But maybe, yes, maybe Thanksgiving there might be traffic on the Thanksgiving lane. Right, that might happen, but we're always thanking God. We bless God. Good evening, number 13. Well, someone's taking that, but I'll read nonetheless. There will be Thanksgiving in all churches in River State and rally in honor of the governor. Patrick says, wow. So the Thanksgiving point is getting lots of subscriptions. Hello, good evening.
Sam, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Well done. My name is Lawson Sam, coming from Yanagua.
Okay, Lawson, you have a minute.
Yes, a minute. Yesterday night when I saw them, especially that long walk they took. Honestly, I was happy. What can I say? Is to also say time is divine, just as the governor said. Because it could have been worse, if not one or two things. But today, they have agreed. I mean, just like one Rivers elder said, they on a rise. After all, even at the international scene, they fought for 12 days. And at the end of the day, they've called themselves, and then they want to resolve diplomatically. So this is the way. This is what they should have done long ago, and River State would not have suffered. So thank God, everything has ended. Let's just hope that the governance will now, go on so that River people can benefit. Thank you. Congratulations, at least even for your effort, for Nigerian Post effort. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Number 14, a message reads, I will not mention who you mentioned here, but, well, a particular caller would start praising Tinubu and Wike as the best thing that has happened to Rivers State. Okay, another comment, that's from Clinton, by the way, says 14, there will be procession on the streets of Port Harcourt. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Good evening, Sam. This is Joseph from Omagua. Let peace reign. Calling off the state of emergency will calm down some aggressive people in River State. Sam, you don't see where they probe caretaker committee chairman of local government in Nigeria before? Sole administrator are the same thing. Okay, so no probe. Interesting. The Oracle, add this to the numbers. Many will ask if the newly appointed National Assembly RISIAC chairman would stay. Lawyers will debate this. Yes, that's very true. There will be debates connected to that. Hello?
Hello, my name is Jude Ubani.
Good evening, Jude. How are you doing?
Yes, Sam, let me speak from the statement of former Governor Wike.
Okay.
He said what happened was a political family matter. I'm not quoted it right. Something like that.
Okay.
And then King Fubara himself said, the peace they got is divine. Now my worry is with the Rivers people, particularly elders like me, who stuck their neck into political family issue. And even those, another group that called themselves Simplified. For me, this is an open way of ridiculing them. When seeing if we had that matter, remember he asked, what have I done? That question has not been answered to date. Nobody has told us what he has done. But he settled. And he said it's divine. By divine from God.
Okay, well, I'll have
The
to...
issue of what happened has not been settled.
Okay, sir, I have to let you go. That's about a minute. Kingdom says congratulatory and felicity messages will pop up. And the next one says Psalm number 11. Fubara will not contest for second term. And Wike will take control of local government based on the conditions. Well, we'll find out. Like I said, we have no idea what was said in that room. SOC, you forgot church Thanksgiving in all 23 local government areas. This Thanksgiving seems to be a winner. It's quite popular with the listener. The reinstatement of Governor Sim will not benefit Rivers people. Sam, if I disclose some of the conditions to you, honestly, you will cry. God day, I would like to hear those conditions. But more importantly, I'd like to know how you know. Good afternoon. Number 12. There will be lots of Thanksgiving in churches all over the state to appreciate God for the governor coming back to office. A Mecca from a Gruta says. Sam, good evening. I don't see any how this peace deal will favor Rivers people. It's all about regaining back the structure for selfish interest. Mr. Diko from Borikiri New Road says. Good afternoon, Sam. I feel for people who support politicians thinking some of the politicians are different. They are all the same. After all the noise, the insult, the ego, the governor still went back to work with the man he once described as a bad influence. If he is now working together with the devil, then who is he? Dave is asking. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Arako.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Chimadik. I'm calling from Umukuta.
All right, you have a minute.
Mr. Arako, what happened yesterday and the day before yesterday isn't the first time it has happened. Although we're having serenity now in River State, which is better, but I want people to see calm down. Let us see when the governor will come into power, if actually what he's trying to preach in his statement will be right. Because this thing that happened has happened before. The same Abuja, the same president, and the governor came and changed everything. You know, when you put an old one in a new bottle, you should not expect a different taste. If somebody is a betrayer, he is a betrayer. No matter how you want to do it, the things that betraying you is the right thing to do. That is one thing first about somebody that behaves like that. Now, in your agenda, let me correct the very first one. Actually, from my own point of view, if the emergency or the suspension was to calm down the order and lawlessness, how am I going to say it? Because do not forget one thing, that quarrel would have caused Rivers State not to have the allocation. Let us not forget that.
Okay,
and if they don't have the allocation, what do you...
That's 1 minute. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Sam. I feel for people. Okay, I've taken that. Hello, Sam. It's now clear to everyone arguing before now that the emergency rule in River State was politically motivated to suit one man's ego when things did not go his way. It is funny we are still playing this type of petty and ancient politics in Nigeria. In 21st century, when the world has gone far, I wish excess money can be removed from politicians, political positions and offices so that these noise grabbers can quietly leave the scene for people with conscience to come in and take control. Bernard from Port Hackett says. Okay. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Augustine calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, you have a minute.
Well, I say, my kind of person, as a person, I will go thanksgiving for this. I will thank God for restoring peace back to our state. And also advising other people to join me to preach for peace. Even the media houses, those of them that are more political than the politicians, to also root their hands up.
My goodness. He talked about everyone in rich media houses. The network decided to cut him. Why? Why? Maybe he was inviting us for a Thanksgiving. Possibly Thanksgiving dinner. I would have gone somewhere. Network, please. We might have to declare a state of emergency for better connection. Hello?
Yeah, hi, Sam.
Good evening. What's your name?
Once again, Mufasa on the line.
All right, Mufasa, you have a minute.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, Sam, for me, I want to say that regardless of how they want to, call the process that is bringing back the governor, for me, the governor still remains the governor, and so much is expected of him. As the person that Rivers people gave their mandate, I was expecting him to come back and continue what he has started. But in all of the, the numbers you counted, the conditions, I think number 10 stand out for me because accountability is the hallmark of government. Whether it is sole administrator or caretaker, he still needs to give account for the number of months that he has spent in Rivers State. And unless that is done, for me, I won't take any of this process they've done seriously. He has to give account. The money is Rivers people's money. Whatever he has done on behalf of Rivers people. Whether it's illegal or legal, he has to give account. That's my position, Sam.
Thank you very much. Just a few seconds shy of a minute. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Samurako, good evening to you.
Good evening, what's your name?
My name is Comrade Clinton. I'm calling from Bori.
All right, you have 60 seconds.
Well, the good news is that peace have returned to River State. Some of us have been on radio calling for this peace. Today or yesterday, the FCC minister and the executive governor of River State, through the intervention of Mr. President, have decided to build bridges for River State. Now, I would not want to speculate. All those items listed, it's possible, it's also not possible. But in all, we give God all the glory. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. That's an amazing use of time. Let's go over to Facebook. Remember. Well, I have on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, so you can drop comments on any of those platforms. Precious Nekabari says in Nigeria, the first of marriage, the man speaks and the woman listens. In the second year, the woman speaks and the man listens. In the third year, they both speak and the neighbors listen. Okay. Adama Nation says no meaning development can take place in an atmosphere of rancor. Hats off to President Tinubu for brokering peace between Wike and Fubara. CP Ozuke says following a politician is like diving in a deep sea without a life jacket. So in other words, you're saying that such a person has a death wish. Rex Wankwo says you people have started again. Allow peace reign. What people exactly are you talking about? Let's see. Do we have comments on WhatsApp? Of course we do. We always do. Melody from Uniport says the settlement is a joke on us. I perceive a sacrifice of the general well-being of Rivers people on the altar of this peace of the graveyard. Like pawns on a chessboard, we have been sacrificed for the protection of the king. My people say that truth will only be found guilty in the temple of injustice. The philosophy and poetry people are dropping on top this simple matter. I need to write things down. There's a lot of wisdom that's passing me by. Good day, Oracle. It does appear that most people in Africa are not laden with integrity in their DNA. A lot of Rivers people went to the streets jubilant of the fact that they were being liberated from Egypt by a supposed Moses, who they thought and trusted would have taken them to the promised land. Alas, they never knew that perhaps they had a fake Moses who later realized that a journey is not as easy and perhaps he thought, and have decided to trace back his footsteps to his original family, thereby abandoning the people of the state to their fate. It's indeed a pity. Chris, what is going on? Is it philosophy students that are listening to the show today? What's all these punchlines that are just flying left, right, and center? When I'm here for it, I'm loving it. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Tan.
Good evening. What's your name?
Obed Chima is my name. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Obed, you have a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Tan. God bless you. Mr. Tan, for me, I think there's nothing to celebrate on this very whatever that has transpired, because I'm yet to see the stake of all of us who are River citizens. I've not seen our own stake. You understand? And going forward, I think we should draw lessons, particularly we Rivers indigenous. We must draw lessons to be able to stand our ground and determine by ourselves who becomes governor of River State. Not just leaving it in the hands of a certain structure, I call them, or whatever. We should never do so. Rather, we should be the one who will bring forth any governor This is a lesson. Never to go through this route anymore. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, it's too close to call, so I can't take calls anymore. Well, we watch and we wait. That's exactly the only option on the table for us. Let's see what happens. Let's see. But I'm hoping that Rivers State, the people, will get a good end of the deal, and whatever that might be. Because the mandate is development. The mandate is liberating people from, going through. Not by them. Lots of problems. However, out, of course, the media reflect, report, analyze. But we're all part of this. I live in River State. I work in River State. I pay taxes here. I have family here. So it affects me as much as it affects you. Maybe people more than others, but it affects. So we wait. It's important to hope. Even there's but then keep hoping.
On our top 10, some say never.